Good evening, everyone. We'll just start in a bit. Let everyone come in. Good evening, everyone. Once again, let's begin. I think enough people have come that we can start. So, yeah, live GK quiz for today. Our passage for today is on NATO. One, the long serving 2 p.m. to Prime Minister, that is, was formally named the new Secretary General of NATO on Wednesday, putting an experienced, strongly pro Ukraine leader with a reputation for conciliation at the head of the alliance. One will take over from three on October 1, at a difficult time for NATO in the face of Russia's war against Ukraine and in the midst of a tight race for the US presidency, which could bring Donald Trump, who disparages the alliance, back into power. All right, short paragraph for today, short and sweet. So let's move to the first question. First question for today. Who is one? Seems like a lot of you do know the answer. But let's see. Yes, Mark Rutte is the answer. And his nationality, that's the subject of the second question. What is two? The nationality of one. Note it's not asking country, it's asking nationality. So you have to be careful with that. You might know one but not the other. You have to know both. Right? That is the answer. Easy for those who knew Margaret was the answer to the previous one, but I guess some of you could have guessed with the name as well. A very Dutch name. Which brings us to who is three? The current Secretary General, who will be replaced by Margaret. Yep, Jens Stoltenberg. Again, most of you knew it. Let's move to the fourth question. Which treaty led to the formation of NATO? Washington Treaty is the answer. Brussels is indeed the center, administrative center, you could say, of NATO. That's where the Secretary General sits and works, and Secretariat, etc. Because NATO covers Europe and North America, so for coordination, they've chosen Brussels. Brussels has a bunch of other international institutions as well, uh, especially the capital of EU. That's there in Brussels. So yeah, and Rome Treaty is an important treaty. Uh, I believe, yes, the International Criminal Court. Its statute, called the Rome Statute, since its treaty was signed in Rome, so you should be familiar with the Rome Statute. There might be another Rome Treaty associated with the EU, but I'm not sure. You guys can check that. Which brings us to the fifth question. This one's quite easy, I believe, but it has changed in the recent past. Yep, 32 is the answer. Bit of an easy passage today, but it's an important news topic, so I figured I should cover it, even with easy questions. Well, let's do the one-liners. Let's see the leaderboard first. Looks like Pratibha will maintain a lead, but X and Krishna are quite close. Good work by rest as well. A-lit based one-liners. We'll move to the one-liners now. Our first one-liner is just coming up on your screens. On which date was emergency declared? Quite in the news recently, emergency. Mentioned a lot in Parliament past few days, among other controversies. Easy question. 25th June 1975. 49th anniversary was just celebrated a couple days ago. So yeah, that's why. Moving on to the next question. What is the full form of CBDC? CBDC. Four options on the screen. For those familiar with the topic, quite an easy answer. For those not, maybe you'll have to think a bit. But think most people are familiar. Yep, central bank digital currency. I guess three of you got a bit bamboozled, but most of you knew it. The answer was central bank digital currency. India recently launched its own, I guess a year or two ago, launched its retail or wholesale version on essentially a pilot basis, small scale, and it's slowly growing. So maybe it'll become more common as the years go by. Which UT has recently achieved full functional literacy? It's Ladakh. That's the answer. Bit of obscure news, but yeah, good to know. Good to know. Brings us to our ninth question. Blank president backed down on tax hikes after unrest leaves 23 dead. So, which country's president? Nationality, rather. But yeah, it is indeed the Kenyan president. It's important for daily news, but it might become more important if the situation spirals further. We'll have to see, wait and watch. Hopefully, it doesn't go too bad, but regardless, our last question for the day. Julian Assange is the founder of which organization? He was recently released after a long legal battle, while Swedish the main case to America for leaks. Yep, WikiLeaks is the answer. Espionage related charges. He pled guilty to them, but he has gone free because his term was 5 years, which he has already served in British prison while waiting for the extradition trial. So, yeah, they have agreed to a plea deal. He confesses his guilt, but he goes free essentially. Important piece of news. Let's see what the leaderboard is like at the end. Krishna takes the victory. Pratibha and Aditya quite close. Great work by rest as well. Thank you, everyone. That brings us to the end. Why? Basically, he's an Australian citizen. That's his home, so that's why he's going back to Australia. He has spent a long, long time outside. First, he was in the Ecuadorian embassy in London, and then once he lost that diplomatic immunity due to Ecuador-related leaks, he spent 5 years in British prison, but now he can go back home. Good for him. Anyone else? Yeah, he will be free, completely free. He will probably continue work with WikiLeaks, but we'll have to see. So yeah, you should read more about it if you're interested. Interesting topic, the whole Julian Assange affair. He released quite a bit that the US did not want release. So yeah, if that's all, I'll end the stream. All right, thank you.